not be chop for Nigeria, na evil spirit. We not be chop owl, na evil spirit. We not be chop bat, na evil spirit. Even though Tinubu to na bat.
Comedian and actor Seyi Law, in an interview with Hub TV, stated that he both supports and criticizes President Tinubu's government as the occasion demands.
I had supported Tinubu, he has become the president. And there are days that I will criticize him. And some people will say, ooh, he's beginning to feel pain. That's why he's criticizing him. That shows the level, the kind of people that they are. That means if their president has become the president, they wouldn't have criticized him if he had made mistakes. I will criticize Tinubu. I will call him out. I won't stop because you are angry that I'm doing that. But that doesn't stop my support for him. I support him. I know that some of the policies that he's making are good for the nation. I'll tell you one thing. This is it. They've removed fuel subsidy. Now we have what we call the student loan. We have the consumer credit, And these are things that will help Nigerians on the long run. We have federal government grants. We have the Nigerian Youth Investment Fund. We have the MSME grant. These are things that probably wouldn't have been so possible without borrowing heavy money to do. Let us remove the subsidy in 2, 3, 4 years. Let us stabilize the Nigerian economy so we don't go bankrupt. And if we have to reintroduce subsidy, at that time, we would have been able to calculate the amount of fuel that Nigerians consume on a daily basis. Refineries like the Dangote refinery would have come on board. Probably the Port Harcourt and the Warri refinery would also have come on board. And at that time, we will know that if we are subsidizing, we're subsidizing within the nation, and we're not giving money to foreign nations to subsidize, majorly for the rich. How many poor people use fuel? Don't forget that the government has introduced CNG. CNG is supposed to help us bring down the amount our dependence on petrol. And so if we're able to do that, we cut down the amount that we spend on petrol, it is easier to subsidize. These are things that people don't want to think about. And the moment you say that you support this, people say, oh, he's supporting the government against the Nigerian people. No, I'm supporting the government to do right for the Nigerian people. And your insult and abuses won't stop me from doing that. Because I don't care. And I will not care. If Nigeria works, it works for all of us.
As soon as I lost my mother, in 3 weeks, I lost 15 kg. Tell somebody if you want to lose weight.
The comedian, who was recently appointed as the Senior Special Assistant for Entertainment and Tourism to Ondo State Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa shared the story of his appointment. Seyi Law clarified that his position in Ondo State is unrelated to his support for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. According to Seyi Law, his journey to this role began when he was invited to the Develop Ondo 2.0 Investment Summit in Ondo State last year, and he stated that he discussed ways to drive tourism through entertainment and identified areas of improvement like agricultural tourism, educational tourism, religious tourism, heritage site and hospitality tourism, health tourism. The then Deputy Governor, now Governor Aiyedatiwa, approached him with an offer to join his team as an assistant, which he was hesitant about because he believed that he had outgrown being an assistant. However, the comedian noted that the governor emphasized his desire to see entertainment and tourism thrive in the state and assured him that he would be free to continue his comedy career and travel as needed. He clarified that the appointment wasn't something that was initially bargained for before elections, so it has nothing to do with President Tinubu.
My post from Ondo State has absolutely nothing to do with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the first place. And this was what happened. I was invited to the investment summit in Ondo State last year, which was Ondo State 2.0, Develop Ondo 2.0. That was the event. And I was a panelist when it was time to talk about tourism. And I spoke clearly on certain areas where I hope that we could drive tourism and how we could support the drive with entertainment and also assess some certain things that were profound, which the then Deputy Governor, who has now become the governor, took interest in. And I think that was where the conversation happened between me and the governor. Okay, and these were some of the things that I said. I said if we're going to drive tourism in Ondo State, I think that we should focus on 5 major areas. And I talked about agricultural tourism, because sometimes you travel outside Nigeria, you go to places like Spain, France, you visit a vineyard, and you are at the vineyard, they show you how they collect grapes and all those stuff and how they make it into wine. But then we have cocoa in my state, we have sesame seed, and there is nowhere where these things are being promoted to drive tourism. So I spoke about agricultural tourism, and good enough for the state, we have a place now that seems to talk about a little bit of agriculture and their hospitality business, the Niba Nola Resort. And I also spoke about educational tourism. I remember while we lived in Lagos, I had my secondary school in the then part of my secondary school in Ondo State, at St. Peter's Unity Secondary School, and also in Ekiti State. This was before Ekiti State became Ekiti State, And I spoke about the importance of educational tourism. And good enough for us also, some of the students from Ondo State made the best results in JAM and WAEC. And I think these students are worthy of celebration, And I also spoke about religious tourism. A lot of Nigerians will go outside Nigeria, will go to Jerusalem, will go to Jordan, people go to Mecca and all sort of places for religious tourism. And I believe that in Ondo State we could also drive that, because we have the late Moses Orimolade, who was from Ondo State, the founder of the Eternal Cherubim and Seraphim movement. And we have the most Right Reverend King Eliza Ogufeimilene, the founder of the Zion movement of CNS. We have somebody like T.B. Joshua, who also came from Ondo State, And we have OK Maria, Catholic, where we have the Catholic Church of OK Maria. And so we could do something to promote religious tourism in the state. We've had quite a number of great men and of God from the state. I also spoke about heritage site and hospitality tourism. We have the Smoking Hill Golf Resort in Ilaramokin. We have the Ilado Golf Resort. We have the Nibanola Resort that I spoke about. We have several hotels, the likes of the Deja Vu. And I can tell you categorically that Ondo State has the second highest number of hospitality business aside Lagos State in the southwestern region of Nigeria. And because people don't get to know about this information, we have the Dory Hill, we have the OK Maria that I mentioned, we have the Igbo Olodumare, where the likes of D.O. Fagunwa wrote the Obojo Odenu Igbo Rumole, and several other heritage sites. We have the Araromi beach, which is the longest coastline in Western Africa. And so when people don't have this information, we don't promote these things properly. And, I also spoke about, I talked about agriculture, and I also spoke about health tourism. When the then Governor Olusegun Mimiko was there, we have the BA Mother and Child Care, which became a world-renowned health service. And so we need to bring those things back, improve on them, so that people can come in and see what we have in Ondo State. And I also said something, and this was what I said. I said any culture that doesn't drive curiosity cannot promote tourism. And so when I said all those stuff, then he was the deputy governor. He called me later when he had become governor, and he had further conversation with me. And he was like, I know that Ondo State cannot, because of what you made, that the state might not be able to pay you. But I would love for you to come in some sort of assistant role. And, I wouldn't do anything that will affect your business. If you want to do your comedy, please, by all means, if you have to travel, do inform us. But then I want to see entertainment and tourism thrive in the state. And I said, at first, when he said assistant role, I was a little bit skeptical. I said, with the level that I've got into in the comedy business, and all those stuff. But then I thought about it. I've always been very passionate about Ondo State.
Say now only poor man and which people they press. Now poor man go wake up for morning, go say, see my neck. Which come press me for neck? They press my brother, wake up. Now hungry they do you.